Have you ever looked at your meticulously prepared plate of grilled chicken, steamed broccoli, and plain brown rice and wondered why you still feel so exhausted? Or perhaps you have noticed that the harder you try to eat what the magazines call a clean diet, the more sluggish your digestion feels, and the more those familiar aches and pains seem to linger in your joints. You might be doing everything by the book, eating the exact same 5 healthy foods every single day, yet you still struggle with brain fog, low energy, and a digestive system that seems to have a mind of its own. It is a frustrating, confusing place to be, especially when you are putting in so much effort to maintain your health and independence. The truth is, there is a hidden culprit behind this frustration, and it is something that most conventional nutrition advice completely misses. The very diet you think is keeping you healthy might actually be starving the most important defenders of your longevity. I am talking about your gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in your digestive tract that control everything from your immune system to your mood and your joint inflammation. When we eat a rigid, monotonous, clean diet, we are essentially creating a sterile environment. We are feeding only a few types of bacteria and allowing the rest, the diverse, protective strains that fight off disease, to simply die off from starvation. Today, we are going to fix that. I am going to share with you a groundbreaking approach that will completely change how you view your meals. By the end of our time together, you will have a clear, step-by-step roadmap to revitalize your gut, reduce your inflammation, and reclaim your energy, all without giving up the joy of eating. Before we dive into the details, I want to welcome you to our community. If you are looking to take control of your aging process with advice that actually makes sense, consider subscribing to our channel because we share the kind of senior health tips that doctors often overlook in a standard 15-minute visit. Also, I would absolutely love to know who I am talking to today. So please drop a comment below and tell me, where are you watching from? It is always so wonderful to see our community growing from all corners of the world. Let us get right to the heart of the matter with what I call the grand diversity principle. Think about the variety of plants you eat in a given week. If you are like most health-conscious folks, you probably rotate through the same handful of staples, maybe apples, spinach, carrots, and oats. But science tells us this is simply not enough. A landmark study published by the American Gut Project, which analyzed the microbiomes of over 10,000 people, found that individuals who ate more than 30 different types of plants a week had vastly more diverse and robust gut microbiomes than those who consumed fewer than 10. This massive study proved that diversity is the single greatest predictor of a healthy gut. Imagine your digestive system as a lush, vibrant rainforest. If you only ever plant oak trees, the ecosystem eventually collapses, leaving the soil barren and weak. Your actionable takeaway here is to stop worrying about portions for a moment and start counting plant species. Keep a piece of paper on your fridge and try to tally 30 different plants over the next 7 days, including every fruit, vegetable, grain, and seed you consume. Now, you might be thinking that eating 30 different plants sounds impossible, especially if cooking has become difficult due to arthritis or fatigue. But our next focus makes it incredibly easy. We need to talk about the hidden power residing right inside your spice cabinet. Spices and herbs are not just flavor enhancers. They are concentrated, potent plants that count directly toward your weekly diversity goal. In fact, a fascinating study from Penn State University demonstrated that incorporating just 6 grams of a spice blend into a meal significantly reduced inflammatory markers in the blood compared to a meal with no spices. Picture your blood vessels acting like old, rusty pipes when inflammation runs high, but a generous pinch of turmeric, oregano, or cinnamon acts like a soothing, protective coating that washes that rust away. To put this into practice, I want you to start treating your spice rack like a daily medicine cabinet. Swap out your plain salt and pepper routine for a heavy dusting of Italian herbs on your eggs, or stir half a teaspoon of cinnamon into your morning coffee. Every single pinch adds a new plant to your daily count. Moving right along, we must fundamentally rethink our relationship with whole grains. For years, we have been told that carbohydrates are the enemy, leading many seniors to cut out grains entirely in a bid to manage their weight or blood sugar. But doing so deprives your longevity bacteria of their absolute favorite food, which is called resistant starch. Researchers at the University of Colorado discovered that diets high in resistant starch increase the population of bifidobacteria, a crucial strain for immune health, by a staggering margin, while simultaneously improving insulin sensitivity. Think of resistant starch as a locked treasure chest that your stomach acid cannot open. It travels all the way down to your lower intestine, where your good bacteria eagerly break it open for a feast. The easiest way to get this benefit is to make a simple swap. Instead of eating your rice or potatoes piping hot right off the stove, cook them, let them cool in the refrigerator overnight, and then reheat them gently the next day. This simple cooling process physically changes the structure of the carbohydrates into that magical resistant starch. Let us keep this momentum going by looking at a tiny but mighty food group that packs an incredible punch for your longevity. The magic of nuts and seeds cannot be overstated, yet so many people avoid them because they worry about the calories or they fear they will be too hard to chew. But skipping them is a major missed opportunity for your gut health. A comprehensive study published by Loma Linda University, which followed tens of thousands of participants, found that people who consumed a small handful of nuts daily experienced a 20% lower mortality rate from all causes compared to those who rarely ate them. Imagine these tiny seeds as microscopic sponges sweeping through your digestive tract, soaking up toxins, and providing a slow, steady release of energy that keeps your blood sugar from spiking. If chewing hard nuts is a challenge for your teeth, simply swap whole almonds or walnuts for smooth, natural nut butters, or sprinkle soft chia and hemp seeds over your morning oatmeal. They still count toward your 30 plants, and they will keep your engine running smoothly all morning. As we continue, I want you to take a look at the colors on your plate, because the vibrant hues of your vegetables are actually a secret code for longevity. The colorful veggie spectrum provides chemical compounds called polyphenols, which act like protective shields for your cells. It is not just about eating greens, it is about eating the rainbow. A compelling study out of Rush University found that older adults who consumed just 1 to 2 servings of deeply colored, leafy green vegetables a day had the cognitive abilities of someone 11 years younger than those who ate none. Imagine your brain cells as a delicate network of wiring that is prone to fraying as we age, but those dark greens and bright purples wrap around the wires like electrical tape, keeping your memories sharp and intact. Your action step here is to challenge your grocery shopping habits. Swap your pale iceberg lettuce for dark spinach or arugula, and toss a handful of shredded purple cabbage into your next soup or salad. If you are finding these strategies helpful so far, and are starting to see how easy it can be to feed your longevity bacteria, please go ahead and give this video a quick thumbs up. It really helps our channel reach other folks who might be struggling with the exact same health issues, and it lets me know that this information is hitting home for you. Now, let us introduce a category of foods that actually brings living reinforcements directly into your system. I am talking about the incredible power of fermented foods. You can feed the bacteria you already have, but adding new beneficial microbes is like calling in the cavalry. A recent highly publicized trial conducted by Stanford University revealed that a diet high in fermented foods over just 10 weeks led to a profound increase in overall microbiome diversity and a sharp decrease in 19 different inflammatory markers. Picture a bustling, overworked city grid that is suddenly gifted with thousands of new, efficient workers who immediately start repairing the roads and directing traffic. It is truly transformative. To harness this power, you do not need to eat massive quantities. Swap your standard afternoon snack for a few spoonfuls of plain, unsweetened kefir, or add a single forkful of raw, unpasteurized sauerkraut to your lunchtime sandwich. Just a tiny amount provides millions of active, friendly microbes. Next up, we need to talk about a food group that has unfairly been pushed to the side in modern diets. The forgotten legumes, including beans, lentils, and chickpeas, are arguably the most cost-effective and nutrient-dense longevity foods on the planet. Many seniors avoid them out of fear of digestive discomfort, but that discomfort is actually a sign that your gut bacteria are starving and struggling to process real fiber. A pivotal study published in the Journal of Nutrition demonstrated that eating just one daily cup of beans lowered LDL, the bad cholesterol, by a significant 5% in a matter of weeks, slashing the risk of heart disease. Imagine your arteries as a flowing river. A daily serving of beans acts like a gentle net, catching the harmful cholesterol debris before it can build up and block the flow. If you are prone to gas, the trick is to start incredibly small. Swap your heavy meat portion a few times a week for just 2 tablespoons of thoroughly rinsed, canned lentils or mashed chickpeas, and slowly build your tolerance as your gut bacteria grow stronger and more capable. We often focus entirely on what we chew, but we cannot ignore the powerful plants we drink. Teas and coffees are essentially liquid plants, and they absolutely count toward your diversity goals. So many people worry that coffee is a guilty pleasure, but when consumed mindfully, these brews are packed with unique antioxidants. Research featured in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology followed over 100,000 adults and found that habitual tea drinkers lived an average of 1.26 years longer and enjoyed significantly more years free of cardiovascular disease than those who never drank tea. Picture a gentle, warm rain washing over a dry, dusty garden. That is what a freshly brewed cup of green tea or black coffee does for the inner lining of your gut. Your takeaway is simple. Swap out one of your daily glasses of plain water or sugary juice for a cup of high-quality green tea, hibiscus tea, or even a dark roast coffee, being careful, of course, to keep the added sugars and heavy creamers to a minimum. Let us shift our focus to the sweeter side of things and talk about fruit diversity. We all know fruits are healthy, but seniors often get stuck in a rut of just eating bananas for potassium or apples for fiber. By limiting our fruit intake to just 2 varieties, we are missing out on specific fibers that target different strains of longevity bacteria. Researchers at the Harvard School of Public Health analyzed decades of dietary data and concluded that consuming exactly 2 servings of diverse fruit per day was associated with a 10% lower risk of death from all causes, particularly respiratory and heart diseases. Imagine your immune system as an army that needs specialized tools for different missions. An apple gives them a shield, but a kiwi gives them a sword, and a pomegranate gives them armor. You need the whole armory. Tomorrow, when you are at the store, step away from the banana stand. Swap your usual fruit for something you haven't eaten in months, perhaps some fresh blackberries, a sliced pear, or a few segments of a bright grapefruit. Finally, we arrive at an incredibly potent source of plant diversity that is often overlooked. I am referring to foraged and wild foods, or at the very least, what you can find at your local farmer's market. Commercial farming has bred much of the bitter, wild nutrients out of our everyday produce to make them sweeter and more uniform. But those wild, bitter compounds are exactly what trigger our longevity genes. A fascinating study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry proved that wild blueberries possess completely different phenolic profiles and up to twice the antioxidant capacity of their cultivated supermarket cousins. Think of a wild plant as a hardened survivor that has weathered storms and fought off pests. When you eat it, it passes that cellular resilience directly onto you. You do not have to go foraging in the woods to get this benefit. Swap your regular pint of standard blueberries for a bag of frozen wild blueberries, which are available in almost every grocery store, and mix them into your yogurt or oatmeal to instantly upgrade your resilience. Let us take a quick breath and look at what we have uncovered today. We have learned that sticking to a rigid, boring diet is actually starving the microscopic army inside your gut. To keep your longevity bacteria thriving, you need to aim for 30 different plants a week. You can do this effortlessly by dusting your meals with a variety of spices, cooling your whole grains to create resistant starch, and sneaking in nuts and seeds wherever you can. We talked about eating the vibrant colors of the vegetable spectrum, introducing live reinforcements through a forkful of fermented foods, and slowly bringing heart-healthy legumes back to your plate. We also discovered that your daily tea or coffee counts as a liquid plant, that you need to branch out beyond apples and bananas, and that wild, uncultivated foods like frozen wild blueberries pack double the anti-aging power. None of these are massive, overwhelming life changes. They are just small, simple adjustments that compound over time into massive health benefits. I know that managing your health as the years go by can sometimes feel like a daunting uphill battle. When your joints ache or when your energy plummets by 3 in the afternoon, it is so incredibly easy to feel like your body is failing you. But I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not powerless, and your best days are not just in the rearview mirror. Every single meal is a fresh opportunity to nourish your resilience, to feed the good bacteria that fight for you, and to reclaim the vibrant independence you deserve. You have the ultimate control over what goes on the end of your fork, and that gives you the power to change your health trajectory starting right now, today. I would love to keep this conversation going, so please leave a comment down below and tell me, which one of these new plants or habits are you going to add to your routine this week? Is it the frozen wild blueberries, the sprinkle of cinnamon, or maybe cooling your potatoes? Let me know. And if you found this information encouraging, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because your health, your mobility, and your independence are absolutely worth fighting for. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. Remember, growing older is a privilege, but aging with vitality is a choice. So go out there and feed your longevity.